Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Invasion versus MVP Hot6. It's game 2 of the best of 3. Invasion currently trailing 0-1.
Well, Invasion, they've fallen off and need to find some answers here. They're facing elimination here at the Summit 3 SEA qualifiers. Summit 2, they were your second place. They were your runner-up after first departure and came very close to making it to the LAN.
Slightly different roster, and unfortunately just not getting the job done. They're out of second chances. They got to win 2 in a row or they will go home. And with that said, let's see if they'll find some answers here in the draft.
Well, Invasion going to go for the Axe, which was very successful for Hot6 in game 1. Hot6 take a different approach. Shadow Fiend, Witch Doctor, again will be Hot6 on that Radiant side. So Hot6 favoring the Radiant, Invasion favoring the first pick. And as a result, here we are with the two teams on their same kind of preferred options. As the Shadow Fiend, different kind of approach from Hot6 here. So they'll have MP probably playing that in the mid lane and just kind of keeping things kind of versatile. I like the Witch Doctor pick, always good against some of those tankier offlaners like the Axe, the Bristleback, and just causes Axe some problems in general because you can sit back, wait for the Axe initiate, then counter initiate with a Maledict, Death Ward. By the time you Death Ward, the Call armor is generally wearing off, so the Axe takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, good at zoning out the Axe for sure. They did not opt for one of their junglers though. The Chen, the Enigma, we've seen them be very successful. Interesting little adjustment here. They generally do favor them. I think we've seen them in at least 2 out of their last 3 or 4 games. So now the Storm going to be picked up by Invasion. Also a different approach from them. More of a jumper type lineup now. Good gap closers, a lot of burst damage, and heroes that can give the Shadow Fiend fits in the mid game. Well, need to protect him. They don't really have the best defensive support right now. I'll see what that second choice is going to be as the Lion gets banned up by Invasion, a hero that can gank the Storm all around the map, and this kind of puts MVP Hot6 in a predicament. Do they just focus on shutting down the Storm and maybe leave their Shadow Fiend vulnerable, or do they get that strong defensive support that can bail him out?
Yeah, and always the two options of trying to deal with the Storm in the laning stage before he hits 6 or have counters for him in the mid game, which is where Lion, got one of those good mid game counters, gets taken out. Earthshaker's still in the pool, which is a good roamer as far as killing Storm before he hits level 6. Scarith would have been an okay option as far as ganking him and even having a mid-game option, but Hot6 decided to ban it out themselves. It's kind of another squishy support that Storm could have actually used as prey, so just deciding to play it safe and ban it out. They do sometimes pick Shadow Shaman, Hot6. I think they did it back in Phase 1, and that's something which does have some good lockdown for a Storm and some good 5-man potential as well. But for now, it's going to be the Enigma ban, which actually makes probably more sense because Hot6 have generally been running those junglers, and with the Witch Doctor already picked up, the jungling support is kind of that natural go-to in the second stage.
Yeah, the Chen is still out there. MVP Hot6 have run that for in some other recent games, but I don't know if that's really the hero you want as much. Axe and Storm very adept at dealing with the creeps later on, and Chen just has no ways to lock the Storm down. So I feel he's just the much worse option compared to that Enigma.
Invasion have switched drafters as well. Game 1 it was ADTR, but your former Orange Esports captain Extinct going to take over here in Game 2, which does suggest some possibly just disagreements within the team, or just definitely they're looking to switch things up, saying whatever happened in Game 1 didn't work, the play, the draft, we need something new, we need something fresh.
Well, we'll see Ancient Apparition ban here from MVP Hot6. Maybe looking to go for that Chen. Perhaps they do want to hit a bit of a heavier push.
And Witch Doctor Voodoo Restoration doesn't feel like reason enough to ban it.
Invasion. Stormax, not your best counter pushers. The Jakiro emerges from the wild.
Let's get some 5-man Dota happening.
Yeah, could be that support Jakiro. I haven't really seen this hero much at all lately. Used to be a go-to, like auto first, second pick style offlaner.
I would love to see some more Undying Jakiro. For a while, that was your popular dual lane in the offlane as well, and just wreck the offlane and kind of then 5-man really well.
Undying can fall off very hard later on, but the laning stage, that's where he excels, and Invasion do not have heroes that kill Tombstone quickly. Bit lacking on physical damage. Your overload charge is not going to help you against that structure. No heavy right-click as of yet. It could work. I don't know if MVP Hot6 are bold enough to go for it, but it feels like a good Undying game so far.
So Invasion most likely going to just start picking up some supports. I don't think they want to reveal their carry as well to give Hot6 the option to kind of get some kind of a counter pick for it, but they need just some stable support, some good wave clear, and a lot of supports have been banned out. With the AA Skyreth, that was what Hot6 kind of targeted most of their bans against during that second ban stage, and supports even having been banned out by Invasion Esports leads to very few options of supports.
Wisp. Okay, tiny Wisp incoming, perhaps. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a little vulnerable against this early push.
Yeah, a little vulnerable, and IO's still not bad just with the Storm Spirit, but yeah, typically this is your tiny.
I think MVP see that, and if they just want to run a push strat, that's not going to phase them. The one thing they do have to worry about, though, is the Shadow Fiend getting wrecked mid.
Yeah.
Maybe they dual lane for him. The Witch Doctor does go very well against the Tiny Wisp. Definitely a possibility here. Pick number 4 going to come out.
And that's where Hot6 already have a good support duo against Tiny Wisp, the Cask against the 2 heroes in general. If they were relocating in, you can leave an Ice Path waiting for them into a Macropie. You've got your Dual Breath, your just general AoE damage. Mirana the pickup for Hot6 though.
Core
This is
Jakiro, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Mirana as a core is very meh, and Jakiro much more likely to be a core in that off lane.
They don't have great setup for Arrow though. No disruption, not even a Rubik lift. Cask is very blah. But sometimes you just see the Miranas walk around on their own with no setup and hit game-winning arrows. You hit an arrow on this Wisp, that's going to be your first blood.
What happened when we were... do you know, was this Brian, by the way, who wrote our description for the Summit 3? Are you reading this in the top here? It's actually, the stream can't see it right now. Maybe our producer can take that off. Because somebody needs to be...
expose that.
Somebody needs to be fired, you know? I looked up there, I'm like, oh, I wonder what we wrote about our own tournament, because I haven't read it. And for those of you in Dota TV, if you look up, you're thinking, what are these BTS people doing?
Wouldn't be the first thing Brian screwed up, GoDz, I have to say.
I'm going to pin this one on K-Pop-Tosis as well. Let him know how stupid he is.
At KPT Dota.
I was gonna,
stupid name to go with.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid name. On Twitter as well.
But if you really want to get at him, at What Is Hip TV is probably your man.
That was where I was going to send people as well. In typical fashion. But we're going to have the Wisp Bristleback. So a bit more early game. Good counter push from the Bristleback. A bit less risky, I feel like, compared to the Tiny. But at the same time, you don't have that same late game potency of the Tiny. So... Different flavor coming out of Invasion. Likely be the offlane duo as well.
It could run over MVP in the lanes, though. None of these heroes really deal with the Bristle Wisp very well. Cask is decent.
They need a strong laning farmer slash safe laner. The Queen and Pain could have been quite good, actually. You have mobility combined with the Shadow Strike and just general damage output, but instead, heroes like Slack maybe come to mind, although by no means amazing. He's kind of low on HP against a Bristleback Quill Spray.
Yeah, generally we see heavy magic damage can work pretty well versus him, but not really much that comes to mind at this point.
Or you go your Slaughter Shadow Fiend. You got the minus armor bros and pretty good laning stage. It's not amazing until you hit level 6 for amp damage, but I think it's a pretty good Slaughter game. One of many options, I guess. Your Slaughter, your Slark. MVP Hot6 have run Wraith King in the past. Forev likes his Jug Troll. Jug seems okay, but I'm not a big fan of Jug against a Wisp Bristleback.
No, Bristle can tank that Omni pretty nicely. You split it between the two. I think Troll would be pretty decent, though. He also pushes well, which seemed initially like their big idea for the draft.
So I feel like that's the good news. For Hot6, there's plenty of viable carries. They're going to put the Mirana as a safe lane farmer, it seems. So
off-lane Jakiro, safe lane Mirana, and they have the sleep set up now.
Yeah.
All right.
Could run even a Jakiro farmer, but I think...
It's also more locked on for Storm, and they did not have proper disable for him. So you ban the Lion, that's okay. We're just going to pick a Bane instead.
Yep. So this is going to make things a bit harder for the Wisp Bristleback. They can still do that sleep toggle because they've got 2 heroes there. So a Nightmare does not spell certain death, but something which is
What's this other support going to be? The pool's looking a little thin now, GoDz.
Disruptor maybe is probably one of the main ones left. Decent at zoning off laners. Static Storm is pretty damn good this game against a lot of kind of nukers and spellcasters. If you get an SF will have to go BKB. Bane, Witch Doctor, these kind of heroes don't like Static Storm too much.
Also that...
Otherwise,
there's not a whole lot else. I mean, there's like the Rubik, but it feels a little underwhelming in this game.
Yeah.
I'd like to have someone who can really challenge in the laning stage.
Yes, I think that's going to be important, because Wisp is unlikely to be able to help out mid or top lane if this is Wisp Bristle off lane, so...
Maybe Crystal Maiden, give that Bristle back infinite mana.
Venge is still in the pool too, actually.
No, she got banned.
Did she? Oh, she got banned way up. Okay, I'm not looking properly.
Support Zeus.
Yikes.
Yeah, the pool is pretty thin for supports. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could argue Beastmaster sometimes will support at least 6 support bands.
Baden. Wow.
All right, great versus the Bane Mirana. I don't know how we forgot that one, but yeah, it's a good batting game.
It's a good batting game, but they've got terrible lanes apart from that Wisp Bristleback lane, I guess. If that's
this does keep the Storm alive, though, mid. This means he should not die if Abaddon's on the ball.
I'm curious to see how they lane this. Nana, normally the mid players picking up the Bristleback, could be seeing him head to the off lane as like a farming with the Wisp.
In that case, you're running an Axe safe lane with an Abaddon versus a Jakiro, maybe +1. That is awful.
Yeah, you've got no good supports to zone any off lane. I think Hot6 is going to be really pleased with what Abaddon is going to be up against in that off lane. May even send him up there with someone like a Witch Doctor, because
yeah, they could dual lane this.
I
Bane
feel
Mirana, like Witch Doctor, Jakiro.
Any two heroes with any two range heroes are going to win that off lane. You don't even have to go for the full tri lane.
The only way they maybe struggle is if there's a tri lane from Invasion, but then you've done your job. You're gonna hold your own with a dual lane versus a tri lane.
Yeah. There's no initiation from Invasion. That's where it's like a Wisp, a Batten. Neither hero has a slow or a stun. There's a tether kind of as a slow, but not really a good initiation slow. So that kind of makes it. Invasion have no ways to get kills in their lane stage apart from like a Wisp Bristleback diving in for kills, which is not something you can really rely on against the stuns and the damage output of these MVP Hot6 heroes.
All right, we're underway now. Game number 2 of our best-of-3 showdown. It's an elimination match. MVP Hot6 leading the set, 1-0 in the best-of-3. Invasion making a 5-man move into the MVP Hot6 jungle. You're going to be spotted out momentarily. FCFC will be scouted by Baton. It looks like, he had vision of him, but wasn't paying attention. It looks like Baton in danger here. There's no pull skilled up. Now it's grab. Baton, though, being chased out. Do they actually have enough slow to bring him down with the goo? It looks like it should be sufficient. Axe not wanting to skill Battle Hunger, just going for auto attacks. It seems they'll get the kill. First blood to Invasion. I did toggle Radiant Fog, and he had a little glimpse here.
Yeah,
but wasn't paying attention.
That's cocky. That's very cocky. You should have just kept running downwards to the left there if you'd seen them, but maybe just a bit of a sleep at the wheel, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe distracted. And, well, with that, we'll run through the lineup. Extinct going to be playing your bed, and FCFC on the Storm. ADTR playing the IO. Nana, the Bristle. And it's Ghost as the Axe. As for your Radiant Squad, MP on the Shadow Fiend. It's Dubu on the Dazzle. Forev the Mirana going mid. For now, supporting, rather, I should say, will be Heen on the Witch Doctor. And Baton on that safe lane, Jakiro.
So Storm with a First Blood and Bounty Rune. He's got a 0-minute bottle null practically. Just need 1 CS. So it doesn't even matter that he got Vortex level 1, which does hurt your laning quite a bit. Not having level 1 Remnant really...
Yeah, you could see really he didn't really want to skill it, but he had no choice in the end.
Yeah, so getting that once... more important than getting once his bottle money right now is getting level 2, so he can actually use Remnant to farm, because you need that Remnant coming into play. But
the other issue is that MP got the better block here, so he may get some very early souls. Normally, Storm is pretty good at slowing down the Shadow Fiend on those first few waves, as we do see a sleep in the arrow combination top lane, Extinct. I was going to mention to not start with the teleport scroll, but he picks one up pretty quickly. He'll join the lane, and the meantime, Baton getting dove a bit here. They'll get off the tether slow. It's only a level 1 Bristle, though. Actually not sure what the plan was with that. I figured he might be level 2. Instead, ADTR going to take a bunch of punishment, but does at least have the bottle to heal himself right back up.
Yeah, so... SF at mid's going to have a good time against this Storm. I mentioned, sure, Storm has First Blood and Bounty Rune, but SF himself got a Bounty Rune, hits level 3 fast, gets himself early souls, has 7 souls, has most of his bottle money, so he's going to be in a pretty good place himself. In the jungle, Ghost may get caught out here. That's a Boots on your Bane. Doesn't have mana for a Nightmare.
2 seconds. They're going to throw out the cask. Coming in soon. They don't even need it. It looks like auto attacks may win the day here. How good are the Stout Shield procs? He gets fogged on the Nightmare.
That's a nice
won't end up getting it off.
I think he should just clarity to
yeah,
get
he could have clarity
yeah.
earlier, but wanted to hold it.
I guess he was going to get it soon and thought they could chase him down, but...
And he can't really farm the stack. It looks like he'll just get the Ogre Frost Mage.
Yeah, that's the value creep anyways. That's the high money in XP1, so take some of Axe's much needed money.
It's like basically a regular creep.
Yeah. Ogre camps are douchebags, man. Those camps are the worst to kill and gives like nothing in return.
Yeah. Axe is reasonably happy when he sees them, just because they're easy. Doesn't like these Alpha Wolves so much, though. They really chew through his HP pool, already out of regen.
Yeah. Alpha Wolf camps, I think, at least give you like a straight level. They give you 200 XP. I think you get level 2 off of them. I'm not entirely sure on that, but they give a lot of XP.
Yeah, they do. It's just like you chew through all your regen, pretty much. Well, he's got the Wisp, so I guess that works out nicely.
Yeah, able to take on some Hellbears. He needs to find something here. Completely just ditching that top lane, deciding that he's not going to be able to get anything out of it. And we'll see Bane has a Nightmare ready. They may go for this kill. Dubu gets fogged. That top lane almost got the Nightmare there.
I was looking for the jump mid, but he not going to find anything. They do manage to get this axe up to level 2. He'll have to go well, so will ADTR, but Nana's having a free time of it, and the off lane is the Bristle.
Yeah, all 3 lanes looking pretty good for Hot6 here. Even your Jakira bottom lane, not getting much CS, but at least has some XP, has level 3, and in general it feels like...
They can go for FCFZ here. If they get off the cask, it'll be a kill, but well, they can't get off the cask, so it won't be.
Yeah, has that nice Dire Observe ward, so they spot him coming in, and then Storm can kind of react and go downriver accordingly.
Tri-lane mid. Here we go.
You don't want to be, at this point, Invasion want to be spreading their heroes as much as possible without giving up kills, because they have no way of getting kills themselves. No initiation stuns, no initiation slows. You've got to farm jungle, farm lanes, but MVP's Hot6 lanes have so much kill potential that Invasion have been forced to play ultra defensive.
This Bane is ballsy. Just chasing all around the world. As FCFZ, speaking of getting chased, Raze #1 gonna miss. There isn't close range Raze though. MP just ends FCFZ. Didn't see why he had to start running this way. Missed the initial skirmish, but the follow-up was devastating.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
And now top lane.
I mean, Abaddon can't save you there. If Swagger Fiend's just walking all over your Storm 1v1.
Stay near your towers if you want the Abaddon to be TPing in and helping, but not the case. Now SF with an Invis Rune gets bottled up. Does get scouted by the ward, but back mid he goes, and we'll be looking for more punishment onto the FC Storm.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend also just wrecking in terms of CS. Storm got the first blood, got the bounty rune, but look at MP CS 24 and 15 to the 9 and 0 of Storm. It's a lane where Shadow Fiend will start to pull ahead pretty substantially in CS at this point, unless you're killing him, but to be this far ahead already is not normally how the matchup goes.
Yep.
Just a troublesome lane, to be honest.
Yeah, and the lanes have gone really poorly for Invasion without the Bane Mirana not even getting any kills. It's just been the pressure alone which has secured multiple lanes of farm for Hot6. They've won mid lane and top lane as a result, and they haven't even had to get kills to do so. Double Wraith Band coming out from Forev on the Mirana, so he wants to be able to impose a lot of pressure early on, gives him some nice stats, especially on a hero like Mirana, who doesn't really have the mana pool to use Starstorm too actively.
I like this build.
Yeah.
It's all about like the cheap items with Mirana. You don't want to be getting your AFK farming Midas. Upgraded boots are great. Her base damage is pretty pitiful, but this really helps to mitigate it. I want to keep that pressure up top lane, and well, that's not the only lane they want to keep it up.
This Dire Ward has really paid off as far as avoiding kills, but that's the thing. You look at how things stand right now, and even with no kills going the way of Hot6, they have still crushed mid and crushed top. This ward has scouted out every rotation from Dubu and Heen, but doesn't really matter. The Abaddon and the Wisp can be in the right place to offer their defensive support capabilities, but it's still FC who has to sit back near his tower in order to stay alive. So these I feel having 2 ultra defensive supports in Wisp and Abaddon was a bad idea. You had to pick that last pick, something with more laning presence. The Abaddon's nice against the Bane Mirana, but they lack a zoning support. They lack that disruptor, that Skywrath type hero.
It certainly does seem to be costing them. Uh-oh. Now Heen swinging around towards top. He's going to convene with Forev, and with the phase boots now complete, he really starts to pack a punch. In fact, GoDz, Ghost is just walking back to base, so to his extinct. I feel like it's been a parade of fountain trips from Invasion here.
Yeah, experience-wise,
this is at least 4, if not more.
Yeah, it's almost a 1,500 experience lead, which is solid. Not crazy by any means.
2,000 net worth lead, and it was Invasion who got the first blood.
Yeah.
That's just devastating.
Bottom lane, they're going in with the Wisp. Bristleback and Baton in trouble. Uses Ice Path already. All they can do is maybe turn and Jewel Breath, but he'll die too fast. Moonlight Shadow also got thrown out. Nice bit of aggression there. Forces out a TP as well, quite importantly.
Well, Heen's going to get experience out of this, it looks like.
So he hits level 4. Hasn't actually skilled anything yet. Waiting to see if this is going to be a Maledict or a Voodoo game, and it's kind of hard to tell just yet which will be better. I guess if you can find a kill on the Bristleback going Maledict, this here is much more picked for the cast and the ultimate, so if you find a kill with a Maledict, it's worth leveling up. Otherwise, there may be a moment where you can get Voodoo Restoration for a push.
They do kill Jakiro. I'd say out of the 3 cores, though, this is Well, I guess this and the Mirana both are fairly item independent, but Shadow Fiend, the one you really want to be taking down. There will be an Ice Path onto Nana, but he's level 7. I don't see them getting this one. More likely they want to go into the Storm, but they'll need some... They actually can't get this kill. He'll just zip out.
Yeah. Force a good use of mana, but Wisp is there to heal him back up with some bottle charges. So FC still more or less full HP and mana.
He's
a little bit
still
short.
down 32 CS.
Yeah.
That is... And that's not even counting last hits.
Bottom lane, some more harass coming out. He's decided to go for the Voodoo Restoration, and doesn't have much mana here. Baton in trouble. This Wisp, Bristleback doing some serious work here with the 5 Warpath stack. That's a dead Jakiro again. Nana finding kills here down bottom. This has been the one lane kind of salvaging things here for Invasion. Is bottom, and Nana now, most of it has the money for a Vanguard to complete, and that's good news for Invasion.
Seems that Bristleback has to snowball. If he snowballs, may buy the Storm a little time to catch up here in the mid game. And there's no Bane grip just yet. He's only level 3 with all the early rotations, so it'll be a while before they have tools to gank that Storm, and with that, I'm just going to try to zone him out of lane instead.
Not really posing any kill threat here, and they've got to be careful because Wisp is level 5, still a bit of a ways before level 6, needs most of the full XP, which is leading to no relocate possibilities for a little bit longer for Hot6 in mid, so they should be able to get this tier 1 tower if they keep on clearing creep waves, unless Invasion rotate heroes, which they haven't really got the heroes equipped to do so.
I do like this from MVP Hot6, pressuring the tier 1 mid. Invasion are not only bad at zoning, they're pretty bad at counter push, at least until they get their Blink Dagger. No relocate, as you mentioned, and oh, tower will be denied. Big plays from FCFZ. Still, though, tower goes down. A little more gold for MVP Hot6. Now they're going to pop the Moonlight Shadow. Not sure if they can get anything done with this, though. No
grip, just the Ice Path as the only real lockdown if they want to go on FC, and it looks like they're just going to reveal themselves off of that.
And Patan is pretty sad. We've talked a lot about the Storm struggling mid, but man, this Jakiro. Not that he needs that much farm, more needs the levels, but he's really struggling. Still no boots.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Baton is just massive as well. Still behind the Shadow Fiend on farm. That's the crazy thing. With the tower gold now, even with the tower getting denied, it's the SF with 70 CS farming jungle camps as well, and just getting that added efficiency out of the stacks in the jungle combined with the farm that he's getting in lane. And now another tower looking to be siege here. It's top lane where Baton's nearby has level 5, so 3 points in the Liquid Fire, and not really ready to defend towers unless they want to bring the Bristle back in. Ghost has not got his Blink Dagger on Axe, so they haven't got that good initiation.
And no relocate just yet. Yeah. If they can get it, though, that could really punish MVP Hot6.
They are going to be going for a mech on Shadow Fiend, which does work quite nicely against the Bristleback aggression and negating a lot of his damage from the right clicks and the quills.
Well, they find Ghost here top lane. Arrow was chucked out. Only a level 1 arrow, but Nana now going to come in. Starstorm only hitting once on the Wisp, but that's a double hit. Maybe they go for this instead. It's Heen in trouble. Baton may also die to the Quill Spray. They want to get both. Nana chucking out the Ice Path, but now the Raze has come out. 1, 2, he's looking for the Requiem. Maybe he might bring them all down. They have no way to cancel it. He'll kaboom them into submission. 2 dead, making a triple for MP. It might be an Ultra. You're hasted, Shadow Fiend, strutting up on Extinct. He gets it. Oh, mama.
What a turnaround cast there. They kind of just pulled Invasion further and further, and Invasion made the right move to TP and hold that, but when they kept on chasing, as soon as the cask came back up, it was problematic. The Ice Path hits, sets up the cask, and the chain stun with the SF was just out of control. That was just well played.
He gets the mech. He's now got 900 gold in the bank.
Oh boy, that is a lot of farm on the MVP side.
5-0-0 at 11 minutes with the leader in CS against a Storm who got first blood in a bounty rune. Oh man.
And this is where I feel like this new Invasion team, like, changing drafts and all is one thing. I don't think the drafts has been the problem. You look at plays like that, and that's just team decision making. Like it's one of those things where that's where you kind of look at the captain, whoever. I don't really know who the in-game captain is. I
don't know if they have a clear captain.
That you need a captain to kind of make those calls. Say this is not a chase we're going to win, and it shouldn't just be the captain. Even if you're just the carry player, there, if you're the Bristleback, if you're Nana, you should know that as soon as that cast comes back up, that's going to get turned around. Unless unless there's no bounces. Like if you're the solo chaser and it's just a cast hitting you, Bristleback doesn't die and you don't give the kills. But chasing and grouping up for that was disaster.
They used their Moonlight Shadow for unable to find anybody. He'll toss out the arrow, but couldn't get the jump. That's okay though. Invasion not really able to punish this too much. In fact, it's the bottom lane where They get their first liquid fire of the game on this bottom tower. Hasn't happened too often. They want to set up on Ghost. They're going to lead with a brain sap here. The liquid fire stacking it, but relocate comes in. Now this could be a good opportunity. Baton chase down to the river. Throws out one more liquid. Nope, can't even get off the auto attack. He'll just get dunked. They needed that one.
They're going to go look for the counterplay at top lane. T1 tower at top fairly low. They're going to hit the Wisp. Bristleback on the relocate back in. Maledict only gets the Wisp, and the cask bounces decently.
It's only a level in the Shadow Fiend. That will force Nana back where nothing else really could. CFC also low on mana. There's no Yule Scepter here, but CFC going to run out. He'll have to zip back. Still, when the dust settles, it's a Wisp for Jakiro. Technically, a core Jakiro. Though he's their least farmed hero. But he does have the levels to give away.
He's, quickly looking like a support, but Hot6 now going to get this T1 tower as well. So that feels like it's kind of part of the trade that just happened as well with this T1 tower kind of hard to defend. There is going to be a Wisp TP in. He can refill the Storm's bottle and also heal the Storm up. They go in an SF. That may not be the target with Mech on cooldown, though.
Blank call. MP, is he inside? No, actually the Creep's tanking the tower. He's going to turn, unloads the Requiem. Now unwinds a couple of raises. FCFZ jukes, but he's not as clever as he thinks. He'll end up dropping. MP surviving thanks to the Mech. Has the stick charges as well. Can walk back in here. Wisp will be run down. Nana could be next. They tickle him with the liquid fire. An arrow comes in, forcing him to the left, but... or to the north, I should say, but a leap forward. This could be it. The log of death. They get him with the ice pet. They get the kill. 3 dead as well again. And the Shadow Fiend never falters. And, well, it's easy to say in hindsight, but the Shadow Fiend tank build really paying off.
Yeah, he's now gone up to 2k gold, so not going to be long before you start seeing the makings of his next big item here. And Towers is going to start dropping too. Liquid Fire maxed out and Invasion just not really ready to keep on fighting. Bristle had like a 9-minute Vanguard treads, but since then he's just picked up a cloak and a magic wand. Everything just falling apart for Invasion. Your Storm just level 8 as well. That's the other thing here. The level difference between some of these core heroes is massive. Your Jakiro may be dying quite a bit, but at least he's got some decent levels out of the off lane.
Blink is available, and Ghost is just going to throw it in top lane. They bring in the relocate, but they don't catch the Shadow Fiend, who throws out one raise, brings the Wisp down to health, kills off the Axe, now turns to Nana, and that stinking cask again starting to work its magic. Retreating out his baton. He may go down here to one more Quill Spray, but Dubu gets in position, gets off the Fiend's Grip. Now the Maledict coming through. Nice pass to full duration Fiend's Grip. They have a Brain Sap as well. The kill secured. Another 4 dead. As quickly as they respawn, they run through the Meat Grinder. They go back to the grave. A brutal slaughterhouse here in the top lane.
Yeah, you can't even remotely call that space for your Storm Spirit. Sure, he's getting some farm bottom lane, but that is just a massive lead acquired by MVP Hot6 off of that. Kill after kill onto the bristleback of all heroes. This is meant to be your mid-game tempo controller who's winning you these fights. Instead, he's just dying time and time again. Has picked up 3 deaths in quick succession.
He's not even close. He's in the minor leagues right now. Shadow Fiend, this is your major league carry with 9.3k net worth at 15 minutes in. It's not even close. Yeah. I have to say the Shadow Fiend really works nicely against the bristleback. Sure, he's tanky, but he just has so much burst that normally as Bristle, you kind of stick around, you let the Quill stack up, you deal with some damage over time, but he just forces that Bristle Wisp duo back. And as soon as they start running, even if they don't die, Invasion can't fight. The rest of the heroes certainly can't do it without him.
FC trying to get some farm in the enemy jungle of all places, saying it's probably safer to farm there than his own jungle, which is likely to be kind of warded up at this stage, but it's the tower to a tower. At this point, Hot6 is going to look to take more objectives with this big lead. They've got up to almost 10k gold. They're thinking, wait, they can't really fight into us. Even if Axe goes in with a Blink Call, we've got Mech, we've got great kind of counter initiation. Cask, as well as Ice Path, is just impossible spells.
It feels like they have to catch all 3. If they can catch all 3 of those heroes, they could probably fight. Jakiro, Shadow Fiend, as well as the Twin-Headed Dragon, as well as the Witch Doctor. But if they only catch 2, the Mech comes out, or the Cask comes out, or the Ice Pet does, and any of those 3 will end the jump.
Yeah. Another big thing is just having arrow against relocates in. You can arrow into that relocate in. Yeah, it's not going to be a 5-second arrow if it's nearby you, but even just hitting a 2-3 second stun on a Bristleback as he TPs in, or on the Wisp, just helps you burst down that one hero.
This Wisp is 800 health. It's 1 nuke and then like a raise, and you're dead or you're running.
Well, first tower of the game, Invasion get to pick up at mid lane. It's a pretty important tower, but it's still a small consolation prize for everything else they're losing on the map.
I love these items from MVP. Double Sanj and Yasha on your cores. Just all about dominating now, tanking up now. They know they have a fine late game. If this goes late, you have maybe not the obviously better lineup, but certainly a lineup that can fight against Invasion later on, and they just want to keep the pressure up. Don't let that Storm get back to farming. I mean, who am I
I like it
kidding?
a lot on the SF. I'm not convinced about the Mirana one. I feel like Mirana, you don't farm very well. You need a Maelstrom or something if you're going to be farming.
Oh, they don't want to farm, though. They just want to
yeah,
fight.
that's true. That's working out for them. And the Roshan
I
pit.
guess this Mirana could like have any item, and
Yeah.
they're just that far ahead where it would probably work out.
You can fight with a Maelstrom. I feel like your damage up with the Maelstrom's better than the SMY, but yeah, SMY is a good item in general.
Yeah, it's just an easy to build item as well.
Yeah, Forev's a lot tankier and hard to kill because of this, and we'll see them now get an Aegis, protect the SF streak. Perhaps he picks it up, and
They can't even kill him once.
Yeah.
Good luck twice.
Dubu's happy. He gets a free bottle out of that one. Says thank you, MP.
Moonlight Shadow. And
Oh,
on the
no.
move, our MVP swinging around onto the Storm. Can they get off that ice path? Nope. They'll narrowly zip out, then Forev leaps forward. He's actually pretty limited in terms of mana pool. Goes for the TP out, almost dies to auto attacks even. It's such an underfarmed Storm.
Nice little attempt.
Alright, Vanguard gonna come out here. Will not help you against that Death Ward, but still decent versus some of these other heroes right-click. The completed Crimson Guard will be of service here, but it doesn't feel like that game-changing Crimson Guard.
Yeah, by no means at all. And we'll see MVP Hot6 working the tier 2 tower. Not the easiest high ground push. Sure, you have got Liquid Fire, but you haven't really got that one hero that can just sit on the high ground doing good damage. SF with an Aegis is probably your best bet. And I think they still can chip away at this tier 3 tower. It's just going to take them some time, or take them an invasion mistake in an engagement to actually get the tier 3 tower.
Yeah. At the same time, because they're 5 ranged, you can't really rely on a good blink call.
Yeah.
Which means, how do you defend?
Nice little split going on the high ground here. Only maybe 2 heroes at most you could call at the same time. And if you only call 2, there's a Cask that's going to hit you, there's a Maledict, there's an Arrow. You're going to lose that
Invasion,
fight,
this
so.
could be their final moments in the Summit 3. They came so close to getting to the Summit 2. Couldn't secure Visas as the replacement team for first departure. And now, well, it all comes down to this. Call comes out from Ghost. It looks like it gets nothing but creeps. They do go onto the back line, but Requiem's there, mitigating the damage, wrecking Invasion. Where they stand, they will fall. Nana getting only the Witch Doctor in the end. And they lose 3. They'll buy back on the Bristle. This could be their final moments, Gods.
Well, one of your last teams left standing in the Summit 2 is looking like they may be the first knocked out here in Phase 2 of SEA. Hot6, a team who hasn't really seen much play or much success in the SEA Dota scene, is looking like they're going to take out Invasion here. They lose a few on the high ground push. Do get the melee racks here. The respawning Shadow
They
Fiend
might be able to kill
BKBs.
him. They leave MP completely on his own. Didn't want to give up any additional kills, and he may die for this. Charging on FCFC, though. He goes in for the auto attacks. Beyond godlike. Now Bristle arrives, comes back. They'll get the dunk. Almost goes dying in the process. Well, that's a godlike streak ended by the axe.
Okay.
Suddenly, 3,000 gold in his inventory.
The gold swing wasn't even that impressive, though. It's
only, yeah, like a 900 gold swing. from
the
that.
Storm buyback just hurts him there. So you lose a melee racks and you don't even gain that much gold on the kind of return fight. So
And Axe is not really the hero you want to be
Yep.
getting that kill. You really want your Storm to be picking it up.
does kind of slow down MVP's Hot6 ability to end this game, taking out the Aegis as well as the SF. So it would have had another 2 minutes of duration left should they have not killed the SF. If he'd backed off with the rest of his team, basically, but still gives Invasion a little bit of time. They need to finish some BKBs up. Looks like Bristleback's going to pick up the Ogre Club. Axe, similar story. It's a lot of magic damage, nuke damage coming out from the Hot6 side, and that's where these Sanjin Yashas aren't giving them big right-click damage. So if Invasion can keep on dragging this, they maybe stand a chance. Problem is, as they drag it, Hot6 will transition into those late-game items. Your Mirana has Diffusal, can start building in some more right-clicks. Same for your SF. Your Witch Doctor is going to work on an Ag Scepter, so while they may not have the best late-game builds right now, they can easily kind of transition into those kind of builds.
Diffusal, just so irritating to play against as a Bristleback. It really helps make up for that Wisp move speed, the Warpath move speed. And VP, do they actually want to cruise on mid again? Seems like they're congregating there. Probably want to find a pick. FCFC scouted out. Do they get that initiation? The long-range arrow. Catching nothing but Ice Ogre.
Very, very close.
Narrow dodge there, though.
And threw that blindly as well, with their vision kind of near top and around the corner, but didn't actually have vision at that camp. So
Nana's pretty confident. He's just going to strut on up.
that's questionable. There's your diffuse arrow. Arrow going to miss. Oh! Almost catches Extinct behind him.
They're bringing in more. MP coming in. Cass going to bounce here. I don't know if they get the kill, but they certainly make him suffer. Blink. And call onto 4Ev. Now Nana going to charge in. There is a leap available. The Ice Path collecting Nana and pulling him into position for a moment. But now the Death Ward comes out. The Cryptic Guard deployed. FCFC gets gripped. Down he goes. Now Ghost with the 3-hero call. This could be a big one. The defensive sleep denies the Shadow Fiend, who immediately buys back. Nana standing strong throughout all this time. They'll lose him in the end, though. That it does constitute a dieback on your Bristle. A triple on 4Ev. 3 heroes dead, as well as the Abaddon. Make it 4. Also a dieback on your Storm, making it a double dieback for Invasion on their 2 most crucial late-game heroes. They put up a good fight here at the end, GoDz, but after that awful start, it was always going to be tough.
Well, this MVP Hot6 team looking to secure the 2-0 victory with what looks like, I would say with ease. Neither game particularly close, just outplaying their opponents. By no means an outdraft as well. I think Invasion just kind of overextended in a few opportunities, took some bad fights, kind of underestimated Hot6 and their team fight potential. And good to see Hot6 make use of a different draft here. We talked about game 1, they kind of drafted fairly standard, but the Jakiro getting picked up, the Mirana, we're seeing the Bane as well. This has been a very unconventional MVP Hot6 specific draft.
Same story as their series versus Rave. The one game they won, they picked strong lanes. They picked strong lanes 2 games in a row now. They win both games. And feels like they outclass Invasion a bit anyway, but I do like the style from them in general. Different picks, but all about making sure they get off to a good start against their opponents. MVP now, the last moments for Invasion. Storm to fall, another great cask, a full duration Death Ward. See you later, Nana. Nana boo boo. ADTR gonna drop here as well. Ghost now fighting for his life. He'll stop off at the creep wave. MP just keeps on piling in the kills. It's 2 full lanes of racks destroyed, deleted from the map. An Invasion about to be deleted from this game.
Yeah, surely that's it, LD. Surely. There's just no real turnaround potential. And even gold trade with some buybacks used on both sides. The SF using his early on. But 2 lanes of racks is the important thing. 24 minutes in. A team not really designed for clearing out super creeps as well. Storm not really doesn't even have a completed item yet. Your Axe, yeah, can spin a little bit, but he's just so easy to catch up, pick up. Bristleback Quill Spray is just not going to do quite enough damage as well. They haven't got that Medusa-type carry to be able to win a game down 2 lanes.
Looks like Eye of Scotty might be coming here fairly soon for MP. Despite his earlier buyback, has the double ultimate orb, the point booster ready. Just needs to finish farming up that Orb of Venom. And with that, I imagine we're just going to see them 5-man top, GoDz, and look to finish choking out Invasion.
Yep. Well,
no need to let him sit around. Just put this old dog out of its misery.
Yeah, SF going to bring out his Scotty now. So just completes it, and they're more or less ready to go. So for the Invasion side, options really limited to MVP Hot6. Overextending such it's like, oh, let's go for kills and ignore the racks and dive your tier 4s or your Fountain. That's really all Invasion can hope for at this point.
Yeah, they kind of dived the Fountain there. Or dove it, I should say. They didn't fully commit.
You go a little further this time, and suddenly it's maybe even a different fight. But I feel like it's unlikely.
Some serious Fountain diving. Yeah. Maybe they get like a 3-hero blink call that drags everyone into the Fountain. That could be the comeback.
And even if you team wipe Hot6 here, you need to do that another few times. So
blink call onto Dubu though. They will catch the Bane to start. MP just waddles in from the rear. Arrow gonna catch Extinct right as the 2 heroes relocate, and MP greets them with a painful Requiem in the rear. Nana to fall again. 4 down. It's going to be a 5-man wipe. The GGs won't even be in time to prevent this one last insult. MVP Hot6. Obliterate Invasion. They stay alive, and they will move on. Guaranteed top 6, but it's not about top 6. It's about first place, and they have a long way to go to get there, despite this win.
Yeah, well, LD, I got to say, Hot6, considering they took a game off of Rave, who were the kind of clear team to beat, the favorite coming into this SAA qualifier, this is a team who has impressed me and made a statement here saying that they could make a run through the lower bracket. I could see them beating any team that kind of comes their way. I think Rave was kind of look better than them, but right now, like, whoever they go up against next, round after round, I could see them taking down a CSW, taking down an Arcanus, doing well against a Mineski even potentially. So I got to say, Hot6 looking strong.
Maybe they even do better than MVP Phoenix here, who, you know, in theory should have been the ones making the calls as far as the new rosters, as they had the better track record going into DAC, but times may have changed. We'll see if MVP Phoenix can continue their run. Coming up next, guys, we're going to have our second BO3 elimination match for the day. It'll be CSW taking on Arcanus. I have to say these two teams looked very shaky yesterday, GoDz. It could have just been an off day, but they're going to have to step it up. It's not even about that game to me. It's like whoever wins that game has to play significantly better than they did yesterday to even have a shot at moving along.
There's a long road through this qualifier for the low bracket, and that's where Hot6, as well as they played on day one as well as today, they've got to go through a lot of teams to get there. And same story for Canis and CSW. It's going to be really tough because, end of the day, this is a qualifier and only one team's getting through. You don't get anything for second, third place. You don't get anything for just winning one series. You've got to win series after series now that you're in the low bracket. There's no room for error.
No room for error, but there is going to be room for a break here, folks. This was a very quick 2-0 game, and, well, GoDz, how long is it exactly?
We got 2 hours.
Two full hours. All right, folks. You have some time to relax, unwind, but rejoin us in 2 hours. We'll be continuing our coverage of the Summit 3 with our Canis taking on... man, my brain is complete. CSW. Our Canis taking out CSW. Thank you, producer man. We'll be back after this.